there is new information out in George Potter's very interesting book, 10 More Amazing Discoveries. This is Intriguing Theories and Findings by George Potter, 2005, brand new book. The Linguistic Footprints of Lehi by Bruce Santucci. Very interesting information here, where he says, by looking on the various maps, Richard Wellington and George Potter and himself say they discovered various inscriptions and various descriptions of valleys, of mountains, of areas that were named after Lehi. He says this on page 12, 13, 14, 15. They show the maps of the various names of the places, of the wadi, the mountains, the valleys, the rivers. It's all over the place on several of these maps. And they say that, also interesting, on page 19 they say, also interesting is the Hilton's discovery that the Lehiyanites used the personal name Nafi. The name appears in Lehian script on a 3rd or 4th century tomb marker near Al-Ula. In 2004, I found Lehiyanite inscriptions in the Al-Ula Valley that listed the name Sam. That's interesting. This is interesting since the common Hebrew pronunciation is Samuel and the Arabic traditional pronunciation is Sami, S-A-M-I. Yet the Book of Mormon pronunciation is exactly the same as the Lehiyanite articulation, Sam. That's very interesting. There are 7 linguistic footprints of Lehi, as well as other Book of Mormon names, along Lehi's desert route. He says, he discusses the Lehiyanite temple at Dedan. It has the same dimensions as the one of Solomon's temple in Jerusalem. That ties in. The modern name for Dedan is Ula, which means to exalt. He notices that the missionary efforts... Oh, I've got to read this part. This part is really too good to lose. Page 20 and 21. I'm going to read this to you. This is very interesting. He's describing on page 21 and 22. He says, according to the Saudi Department of Antiquities, near the foundations of a large temple is still visible a well-preserved large cistern. However, that is not what the temple excavation reveals. As the picture indicates, the font is located within the temple foundation itself and is actually part of the temple, with the floor of the font being several feet below the ground. Second, as we prepared to leave the valley in 2004, I met the French explorer Patrick Pirard. The next year he agreed to show me another Lehiyanite temple that he had discovered. So they met, and he returned in Ula in 2005 with David Alexander and Jim Anderson. Patrick guided us to the summit of the Temple Hill, which included climbing a sheer 100-foot vertical cliff without the aid of ropes. Wow, brave. The original stone staircase that led to the temple has long eroded away. The death-defying experience was worth it. On the summit of the hill was a large temple complex with an altar of unhewn stones. Third, Patrick led us to a hidden Lehiyanite sacred sanctuary. He discovered the holy site in a maze of narrow wadis 3 miles west of the main wadi Ula. The site contained an altar with 2 carvings, a circled bowl and 1 rectangular box. According to Pirard, the bowl was for holding the blood of sacrificed animals, while the box was for holding a statue of the god Du-Gaibit. D-H-U-G-H-A-I-B-I-T. Du-Gaibit. So did the Lehiyanites practice a faith consistent with that of Nephi? The Lehiyanites referred to their god as Du-Gaibit. Du means the one with, or possessed with. And Gaibit means absent, unknown, faint, or swoon. Gaiba, the singular, G-H-A-I-B-A in the singular, means one absent. But Gibat Ghibat, the plural, means a lot of absence. According to the Al-Munjed Arabic to Arabic dictionary, Gibat means valleys, digs, caves, woods, or anything that could make things or people absent or hiding. An Arab may say, gaib this person, which means to kill someone or to make him absent. The Quran says God has the knowledge of the gaib, Ghaib. God has the knowledge of the gaib, which means God knows the unknown. A sorcerer or enchanter claims he knows the gaib, or the future. The Quran states all gaib knowledge is only for God. Combining these definitions, the Lehiyanite God's name then means he who possesses knowledge of the future. In ancient times, the oasis at Al-Ula was known as Al-Allah, or God is the most knowledgeable. This compares well with Nephi's teaching that the Lord knoweth all things from the beginning, 1 Nephi 9:6, and Lehi's words where he said, in the wisdom of him who knoweth all things from the beginning, 2 Nephi 2:24 and 2 Nephi 9:20. In other words, Nephi and Lehi referred to their God as him who knoweth all things. It's a very powerful tie to the God of the Lehiyanites also. George Potter, 10 more amazing discoveries. You're going to want to get this text also. Even in the incidental details, all of the details we find in Saudi Arabia match what the Book of Mormon teaches in their Saudi Arabian desert journey. Once again, in another area, the area of linguistics, we have confirmation in the Book of Mormon. Every name in the Book of Mormon, Lehi, Sariah has been found in the Elephantine papyri in Egypt now, Lehi in the desert, Nephi, Hugh Nibley shows Laman and Lemuel. We've now discovered Sam. All of the family names linguistically have been discovered to be ancient authentic names. John Gee even has shown how Nephi is an authentic ancient Egyptian name dating to 600 BC. This is significant. There's no angle that we can look at, geography, archaeology, geology, botanically, or linguistically, politically, and historically. Everything seems to match in the Book of Mormon with current scholarly research as we have it, based on fundamental real-world realities. That is seriously significant. I'm still on the borders near the Yellowstone Lake. I'm not on the borders nearer the Yellowstone Lake. It's gotten too windy. Look at this magnificent old tree that I found. I'm going to sit right on this old tree here, and I'm going to explain something else that I've discovered about the Book of Mormon. This is in the Journal of Book of Mormon Studies, Volume 10, Number 1 for 2001. Lehi's Altar and Sacrifice in the Wilderness by David Rolfe Seeley. He's one of the International Dead Sea Scroll scholars on the International Dead Sea Scroll team. Sensational LDS scholar in his own right. On pages 64, 65, 66, 67, so on and so forth. The Book of Mormon records, this is on page 64, the Book of Mormon records that Lehi, in obedience to the Lord's command, left Jerusalem with his family, and when he had traveled 3 days in the wilderness,